بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. اللهم فقهنا إذا علمتنا. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر وتمم علينا بالخير. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر وتمم علينا بالخير. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر وتمم علينا بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح. وبعد. So, inshallah, I know we haven't done this in a while. Like this group was supposed to be reading at night, the Imam al-Ghazali, rahimahullah, the Ayyuha al-Walad, but that kind of didn't stay consistent. But anyway, inshallah, this one just for the summer, I think, while we don't have the Mukhtasar al-Quduri class on Wednesdays, we're going to be, inshallah, reading this Sirah text, which is called Nafحات العطرية من سيرة خير البرية by Shaykh Nur Al-Din Itr, rahimahullah, who passed away only, I guess, 2 to 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, I think. So, inshallah, this is a text that we asked Sheikh Samir Anas Hafidhahullah Ta'ala before. Maybe I think Saif, maybe you were there, but I think we asked him before about what should we read at our like mawlids that we had in Long Island, and he actually recommended this book, the Nafahat al-Atriya, and it's very nice. It's a very short text. It's extremely like mukhtasar. It's very abridged. You'll see there's like huge things missing from the sirah, and only half of it is actually a chronological sirah, and the rest is just basically shama'il, or it's kind of interspersed with shama'il. So it's not much. The edition that we have on the screen is like less than 50 pages. This is a newer copy that I have also. I already promised to give it to somebody, so I'm not going to be using this one, but it has a few corrections and stuff too in its new edition. But even this edition is like 80 pages and it's not that much text on each page. So, or 70 pages. So it's pretty short. And the author, for those who don't know about him, Shaykh Nur Al-Din Itr, rahimahullah, he was a specialist in various fields, but fiqh, usul al-fiqh and hadith especially. And he was a student of some great ulama like Shaykh Abdullah Sirajuddin, and I think his father-in-law was also a very prominent sheikh. His father was also, actually, he was a student also of the father of Shaykh Abdullah Sirajuddin, I believe. Um, so they were all, and many other ulama. There's plenty of biographies. Like when he passed away, rahimahullah, a lot of ulama wrote biographies of him, so you can find it easily if you look online. But mostly, he was for a long time. He taught at the University of Damascus, Jami'at Dimashq. So that's where most of his students like they learned from in the university. But he also had majalis in like the masajid in Damascus and in Aleppo because he's actually Halabi. He's from Halab originally. He's not from Damascus. His family, I mean. And he has several editions of works. He wrote a lot of works himself. He also edited a lot of works, very important works actually. Like his edition of Muqaddimah ibn Salah has it's been the standard for pretty much for a long time. He has his own works in Ulum al-Quran, and he has a really nice 4-volume commentary on Bulugh al-Maram. Anyone know what Bulugh al-Maram is? Just to make this interactive. Okay, so Bulugh al-Maram is Imam Al-Hafid ibn Hajar Asqalani's hadith text gathering a hadith of ahkam. So fiqh related hadith text. So he has a commentary on that, which is very good because it goes through the four madhahib basically. It goes through the four madhahib and it cites them from their own sources. So, oh, Naz, I think you stole host from me because you entered because it's your room. But yeah, it cites from the four madhahib from their own sources. So it's unlike most commentaries on like hadith al-ahkam. It's not just trying to find the so-called strongest opinion or anything like that. So that's very nice, and I always thought we should read that like in Dar al-Fat, because that would be a really nice text to read because it's like the only comparative fiqh work that's not like it's one of the very few comparative fiqh works that's not terrible because they're mostly terrible and unreliable, even all the well-known ones too. I think I can say that like safely say that. Anyway, he also has editions of some very advanced works, Sharh al-Tirmidhi, rahimahullah, by Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali. He also has one of the standard editions of Hafid ibn Hajar, Nusrat al-Nadhr. So he did a lot of work in hadith especially, but in other sciences, other disciplines as well. Shaykh Nur Al-Din Itr, rahimahullah. he's also a teacher of some of you guys know Dr. Isam. He's Dr. Isam's very close teacher, Isam Aidu. So anyway, let's just get started then, inshallah. And whoever wants to like try to read, you can. Whoever's ready to read like right now, you can raise your hands. Then I'll call on people to take like one paragraph or one sentence or whatever, and we can switch off. And I'll read as well. Any questions or anything before we start with the actual reading? Okay. So the title is نفحات العطرية من سيرة خير البرية صلى الله عليه وسلم. So we'll talk about what the title means and when we're actually he's going to mention it again in the biography. So I mean in the intro. So we don't need to talk about it now. And you can see this one was published in 1998, but I think he finished it before that. At the very end of the book, you'll see that he actually wrote it for his son who passed away in some accident or something. I forgot what he said, but he passed away in some accident or something, and he mentions that at the end. So we'll see that inshallah. But if anyone is willing to read now, you can raise your hands. Otherwise, I'm just going to start. But I may still ask people like grammar stuff or whatever, because the whole point of this is a kind of like Arabic practice. Of course, that's not the main point. The main point, if we're reading about An-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the main point is An-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. But of course, we're reading this for purposes of improving our reading. Sorry, Sayyidi Ahmed, you wanted to say something?
No, no. I was just saying so. And
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah. No, but did you want to read also?
yeah, inshallah, I don't mind.
Okay, inshallah. Yeah. So I'll start off with like the first paragraph, the first couple paragraphs, and then I'll get you to read, and then we'll see if anyone else wants to. قال الإمام الشيخ الدكتور نور الدين إتر رحمه الله تعالى ونفعنا الله بعلومه وبركاته في الدارين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي I also forgot to mention there's a translation of this text in English. It looks like this, the green cover one. It's translated by Usman Ali, Heritage Press in the UK. So I read this before actually with some guys, I think including my cousin Saif, who's in this group. And it was really nice. Even the translation's nice too. But the Arabic, I did actually attend like many years ago at Al Maqasid. Sheikh Walid Mus'ad, he actually covered this text at Al Maqasid like back in like 2015, 2016, something like that. So I attended some of those, but I don't think I attended all of it. So this PDF is of the old edition. The new edition is the one I showed you guys. This is the new edition. And I already promised it to Naz, so I'm gonna give it to him. But because I have the physical copy of the old edition too, and the new edition makes a few corrections and stuff, but I don't think it's anything too significant. So he says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah alladhi sharrafa al-alamina بسيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أعظم الأنبياء والمرسلين واجتباه واختاره بشيرا ونذيرا للأولين والآخرين اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. So we're not going to translate like word by word, but we'll just summarize unless there's like some sentence that is more difficult and we need to work on translating. Since we're just starting, maybe say the Ahmed if you want to try translating this part.
So in the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most gracious, all praise is due to Allah, He who has honored the world with our Master Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the greatest of prophets and messengers, and he chose him. And I'm not sure what's the nuance between اشتباه واختاره.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get out in translation, but yeah,
Yeah.
selected, see something like that.
I got chose and elected warner, a giver of glad tidings and a warner to the first and the last. O Allah, send benedictions and peace and blessings upon him and upon his family, and upon his companions, and upon those who follow him with ihsan, with excellence to the day of judgment.
So what's the singular for alameen?
Alam.
Yeah, Adam. So whoops. This is so Adam is the singular, but how come it gets this kind of plural, which is usually reserved for something that has is aql, has like aql. Anyone? Or go ahead.
لا أدري.
Yeah. Well,
Is it
you see
is
this
it
also.
because it's
Go ahead, Nas.
is it because it's referring to like the intelligible world, like things that have aql?
So yeah, there basically yeah, because they're saying a lot of the alameen include awalim that have an alim of things that are akil. So one of them is alim al-insan, alim al-jinn. That's according to one tafsir. Because you know where all the mufassirun talk about this is alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. So they talk about this in the Fatiha. So there's all these different opinions there. But yeah, basically they say that they're giving it this kind of plural because the people who are some of the people who are inhabitants of these worlds are akil. That's basically why. Because, like, for example, humans and angels, according to one opinion, and jinn, etc. Okay, so then Bashira wa Nadhira. Yeah, I don't think we need to go into this too much. Let's go to the next paragraph because it's just supposed to be a practice. Naz, you want to read?
Yeah, I can read.
Yeah, go ahead. By the way, if anyone else wants to read, you can just write in chat or something like that, and then I'll call on you next. Oh, I see Hamza, you wrote that. Okay, so you can go after Naz.
Are we at أما بعد?
Yeah.
Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال المصنف رحمه الله تعالى فهذه أما بعد فهذه نفحات عطرية يحق عليك أيها المسلم أن تحفظها وتكون على ذكر لها من سيرة خير البرية عليه من الله تعالى أفضل الصلاة والسلام وأزكى التحية، وهي لمحات يجب على المسلم معرفتها عن شخص رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ومولده ونشأته وبعثته وذكر أحواله ومواقف في تبليغ الدعوة
مواقفه في
ومواقف ومواقفه في تبليغ الدعوة وجهاده صلى الله عليه وسلم، ثم شمائله ثم شمائله الحميدة المجيدة ودلائل نبوته القاطعة لكل شك وريبة. So he's saying that these are the title of this book. These are perfumed breaths.
Yeah, nafha is like a gentle breeze. That's one meaning, and it comes in there's a hadith, right? What is it? It's a famous hadith. Inna li rabbikum fi ayamikum fi ayami dahrikum la nafahatun alla fata'ridu laha. Like indeed, your Lord has in the days of like in the all the moments of eternity, your Lord has like these gentle breezes that like basically it's a spiritual or full of barakah and spiritual benefits. So will you not like present yourselves for them for getting these nafahat, these divine the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something like that. I mean, I'm just remembering the hadith from memory. But anyway, we know that بذكر الصالحين تتنزل الرحمات or تنزل الرحمة. Very the famous statement. I think it's the Sufyan ibn Uyayna. بذكر الصالحين. What is it? Sorry. بذكر الصالحين. I can't remember the exact wording with that. تتنزل, I think it was, or تنزل, or تنزل. I don't remember, but we could look it up. That oh, whoops. تتنزل الرحمات. So mercy descends by mention of the virtuous, and of course Sayyid al-Salihin is an-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So even more so. Uh, yeah, so that's one of the reasons why you would read something like this, even if you knew every little fact in here already. Okay, go ahead.
So it's يحق, it's basically it's I don't know how to translate it. It's good that it's proper that every Muslim should
Yeah.
memorize it and mention it from the life of the best of creation.
But وَتَكُونَ عَلَى ذِكْرٍ لَهَا, like they should like remember it. They should have it like in their memory, basically.
From the best of creation, alayhi salatu wassalam, and the pure and on him the purest greetings. And these are basically flashes that every Muslim should basically notice.
Or you can say glimpses, like just glimpses of the seer. You're not getting a full picture because it's very short, basically. Yeah.
About the personality of the Prophet, some and his his birth, his growing up, him being sent, and mentioning some of his states and like the situations he faced in spreading the dawah, his jihad, and his characteristics and qualities,
Yeah, like
and
his noble
some,
characteristics, or yeah.
yeah, and proofs of his nubuwah, uh, um, indisputable proofs of his nubuwah that that go against every doubter.
Yeah, or they like yeah, they remove or they cut every doubt, basically, literally. Yeah.
Mhm. So I
Uh,
can.
yeah, just continue. We'll finish this paragraph. It's only a few lines.
وإن كل ما أوردناه هنا هو من الأحاديث الصحيحة والثابتة فكن منها على طمأنينة وسكينة وتأمل ما فيها من درس وعبرة وصل وسلم على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عند كل جملة وعطر المجلس بالصلاة والسلام عليه صلى الله عليه وسلم لدى نهاية كل مقطع وفقرة. So, and indeed, everything that's mentioned here are from Sahih Hadith. So um, have a have like a settled heart, I guess. Have confidence, and then think about reflect on what's in it, from lessons, um, and send peace and blessings
Yeah, I'll
and
just say like reflect on the lessons in it, because in English, like, we don't usually say it like this, right? Reflect
yeah,
on what's in it from lessons. That's like the Arabic phrase, yeah.
yeah. And send blessings on the Prophet ﷺ, for in every sentence, and and I guess perfume the each gathering with the salat and salam, um, for every نهاية كل مقطع وفقرة, uh, until at the end of every paragraph.
So he's saying at the end, like say salat and salam at the end of every like sentence and paragraph, basically.
Yeah.
Just have the whole majlis full of it. Because he actually wrote this in order to read at like Molid type of gatherings and stuff like that. So that's good. I think we'll do it. Hamza K can go next. Oh, one thing here, and we're not really commenting much, but the ahadith as-sahiha. So this is, of course, a very modern phenomenon. Nobody would normally do this for a sira work. We don't need ahadith sahiha for a sira work. And the vast majority of sira works don't make that a condition, because if you make that a condition, you don't have a sira anymore. You just have glimpses like this. Actually, you can't fill in any details if you're only going to go with ahadith sahiha. And that's, of course, I'm not criticizing the author here. He's writing it for the people of the time that we're in. But of course, like that's not the approach of the ulama of Sirah or historians in general in Islam. It never has been. So we can move on to the next last paragraph. Is the ba used as which ba?
So it's called عطر بالصلاة, right?
Oh, atar al-majlis bis-salati was-salam.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say sabab. No, not sababiyya, right? It's not, the sabab isn't as-salatu was-salam. That's like you can say musahaba, right?
Okay.
Because you're accompanying this majlis with like the fragrance of as-salatu was-salam.
Oh, it's
By the
Musahab.
way, you can probably choose other meanings too, because out of these 10 different meanings or whatever the ba has, there are probably other ones that work. It's
Okay.
I think it's rarely like, if you look at if you look at tafsir, for example, you'll see like it's rare that they're like, okay, this is this type of ba and everyone agrees on it. So
Oh,
yeah, you can kind of, so well, what I just did? I kind of just chose something that made sense to me, but that's basically what you do. It's rare that
okay.
you'll find like it has to be this type. The right in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the ba has like so many
Yeah,
agreements on it.
it's like ban like معي, right? معي,
That's
or
one, yeah. And then there's isti'ana, and then some people say, oh, it can't be isti'ana. There's all these debates.
oh,
So
I got you.
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I got you.
so-
Is it okay if I ask if I ask like certain huruf and like their functions,
no, that's
because
fine. That's good. Yeah, because we're supposed to be focusing on the Arabic, so it's good. Yeah. So yeah, please do. Everyone else, if you have questions about, someone translating it, why it's being translated that way, please ask. That's the point. And yeah, like it's not that important to just make progress. The main point is to, like try to learn our, like sharpen our reading skills. And I encourage everyone here, like if you've reached enough of a level that you have like your basic grammar down and you can try reading to the teacher, it's always good to read to the teacher and be corrected. I think that's how like that really benefited me a lot more than almost anything else I did. After you learn like the rules and stuff, so that you can at least read in start reading. So we have Sayyid Ahmed, Naz, and Omar, and Hamza K. Anyone else who wants to read, write your name in the chat so I can also call on you after them. So Hamza K. I don't know. I don't need to say K here because there's no other Hamzas, but in the Arabic class we have 3 Hamzas. That's why I'm used to doing that. So Hamza K, you want to read this next paragraph?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واستحفظها أخي المسلم واستحفظها أخي المسلم
So it wouldn't be Muslimi.
المسلم.
Hold on, let me think for a sec. Yeah, actually, yeah, wastahfidh.
It's Amr, right?
Yeah, it's Amr, so you're commanding them. Yeah, so yeah, it can be, yeah, it could be Muslimu. Yeah.
واستحفظها أخي المسلم فإن العالم بها يحصل رتبة يفوق بها من جهلها ويتخلص من
Well, he says
من
يتخلص, right?
ويتخلص من الزجر الوارد في القرآن لمن غفل عنها كما أن للعلم به صلى الله عليه وسلم وكمالاته حلاوة في الصدور فرحا وسرورا ولذكرها في المجالس ولذكرها في المجالس استبشارا
Yeah,
وحبورا.
kind of a tongue twister a little, yeah.
And then
Yeah, so you can translate it when we have like really simple sentences, we don't have to translate it, but it's good to just like as practice for like ones like this because the introductions are always not that easy to translate, so it's good to try.
so memorize it, oh my Muslim brother, for indeed the scholar of it um, achieves.
So you could alim here
Or-
could just be someone who knows it. It doesn't have to be like a scholar. Just the basic meaning of ilm, like knowing something. It's the one who knows it, basically.
The knower of it
Yeah.
will achieve I'm not sure.
What is anyone can help him out? Rutba. What does a rutba mean?
A level.
A level or like a rank or something like that. Yeah. Also, we use a similar word like martaba, right? It's like the same root but same meaning basically. Martaba or manzila, someone's rank or yeah. So rutba is like a rank. Go ahead, Hamza.
Achieve a rank higher or a higher rank than the person that is ignorant of it.
Yeah. So if you want to do it literally, you can say he'll achieve a rank by which he will, ascend above someone who is ignorant of it. But yeah. Because this biha is going back to the rutba, right? The ha is going back to the rutba. You can continue.
And he will specialize.
So here it's a different, yeah. So you're thinking of takhassus without the lam.
Okay.
So here it's talking about khulus. Like khulus is to escape from something or be free of something.
He'll be free of zajr.
So what does zajr mean? If you don't know, then someone else can
I
help
don't
out.
know.
That's okay. Someone else can help out. Basically, go ahead, Omar. I think you were.
No, Naz got it.
Like
Well,
rebuke.
Yeah, like rebuke or admonish or something like that. So something like that along those lines. If we were actually translating this, of course, we'd be more careful, but we're just trying to get the general meaning here. And al-warid, what does warid mean here in this context? Anyone?
It's like Something that's been transmitted from the
Yeah,
Quran.
something that's been transmitted. So the rebuke or admonishment that's been transmitted in, and then you can continue from there, Hamza.
Transmitted from the Quran for the one that is ignorant of it, or that was ignorant of it. Um, just like the might have some trouble with this one. Can I pass it on? Inshallah.
Or, I mean, someone could just help him. كما أن للعلم به صلى الله عليه وسلم وكمالاته حلاوة. Well, why don't you, do you know why halawatan has the two fathas, why I said nasab? If you figure that out, it'll help you understand what the sentence means.
Does it tie back? Is that does it tie back to the anna?
Yes. So this is ism anna. Good. So that means you have to translate it first, right? Because it's the ism. In English, normally we wouldn't, like, he's bringing the khabar first, but in English we don't normally speak like that. So when you're translating, you kind of have to bring the ism first when you're saying it. So another العلم به صلى الله عليه وسلم وكمالاته حلاوة في الصدور فرحا وسرورا. So here you translate the sweetness first, right? Halawa, sweetness. So you say just as so he's giving a second reason, right? One reason here is that okay, you'll be free of the warnings in the Quran from being ignorant of such things, and also there will be a sweetness in the hearts, or you can say the chest, but hearts sounds nicer, right? There'll be sweetness in the hearts, and there'll be rejoicing and happiness by means of knowing about him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and knowing about his perfections. So al-ilmi bihi wa kamalatihi, so it's al-ilmi bihi wa bi kamalatihi. That's basically what it's saying, right? To know about his various perfections, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we know that, right? The prophets, alayhim salatu wasalam, what is wajib for them is every human perfection. Every human perfection. So now let's do a kalam question. Is this wajib aqlan or shar'an?
Wait, what was the question?
I said the fact that the prophets alayhim salatu wasalam have all like human perfections, or all perfections that are available for creation, is that wajib shar'an or is it aqlan? I'm just saying that because I know you guys are into this stuff too. So.
No, definitely Shar'an, but it can go Aqlan probably. Like, but I don't see how it's like strongly like Aqlan.
Yeah, so you're saying exactly what the late Ash'ara say generally. They say there's different opinions, but Shar'an is stronger. But it could be aqlan if you say that, okay, the mu'jiza is like doing tasdeeq of these prophets. So then if they had these imperfections, it would actually be aqlan a problem too, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just said that they're truthful. But then it's not very strong. It's not a very strong argument according to the late Mutakallimun. Anyway, that was off topic. What'd you say?
It's like a really long istidlal, like, okay,
yeah, it's very indirect. And if you have to
get
get that indirect, then it's probably not aqlan, usually. Okay, so then what? Go ahead. Someone saying something?
So what would be the function of anna in the sentence? Like, how's it being used exactly?
Kama anna, because well, do you know what this type of ma is here?
It's not nafi, I know that. It's
Yeah, so they call it, I think this was ma al-kaffa. Actually, anyway, I mean the structure here is like a very normal structure. Kama anna, that
Yeah.
li shay'in shay'an. That's just a very normal structure. So yeah, he didn't have to use it here. He could have said كما كان للعلم به حلاوة. He could have said that too. But yeah, he doesn't have to use it here. But what is the function here? So it's basically connecting to what comes before. يتخلص كما أن للعلم, because you connect. You can't do a direct ataf of a jumla ismiya and a jumla fa'liya, right? So we often use anna to do it instead. I think that's because the ism, this is ism, right? Which would normally be the mubtada halawatan, and you can't just say yatakhallasu wa halawatun, right? You can't say that. So that's basically the function of the anna here.
Gotcha.
So then the last part, Hamza, do you want to translate this very last part? So this li dhikriha connects to what? First, someone tell me where's the atf to? So the first thing you should be looking for is another lam. It doesn't have to be, but here it'd probably be another lam.
Is it the للعلمي?
Yeah, للعلمي كما أن للعلمي حلاوة وكما أن لذكرها استبشارا. So it's like this, you're repeating this kind of structure. So Hamza, do you think you can translate this last one? If not, it's fine. We'll get someone else too.
Maybe someone else.
Okay, well, Omar, you're going to go next, I think, for reading. So why don't you just translate this?
All right, Bismillah. Oh, so I'm translating.
So first translate that very last part. Yeah.
ولذكرها and so like it's mentioned in gatherings.
So everyone keeps saying it. Well, what is this it? What is lidhikriha going back to?
That is the where are we going back to? So the ilm of wait.
It's all the stuff on the top, right? From the previous paragraph.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean,
all that stuff.
knowing like this seerah, I guess, right? Like
Yeah, so it could be the Nafahad itself, right? That's the name of the book. It could be that, or we can say the Lamahat that he mentioned later. Either way, it works, right? But Lamahat is the closer one, and they do say generally the default is go with the closer one. Or you can do all these things, but technically you can't make atf on all these things, right? There's only one ma'tuf, and everything else is ma'tuf alayh. So you can't really say that, but you can say I think lamahatu lamahat is the most common because look, here's this ha, it all starts from here, and then you're keep attaching to them. So
yeah.
Go ahead. So that's why I'll translate this as knowing them and not it here because it's something plural.
Okay, yeah, them in gatherings is like glad tidings, or istibshar is like,
Or just like a happiness, right? Bishara,
yeah.
like istibshar, like
Okay,
blessings.
yeah, like
And kuburan is also similar, right? It's like joy and being delight, I guess, delightfulness. I don't know what the exact translation will be, but we're not here for an exact translation. We're just trying to practice here. Okay, so Omar, you can continue reading. Just read this whole paragraph and then translate whatever needs to be translated or what you feel should be translated.
okay. بسم الله قال رحمه الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اعلم أخي المؤمن أن الله تبارك وتعالى قد خص نبيه محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم بأن جعله أفضل النبي أفضل نبينا والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين والمرسلين وأعظمهم رسالة وأكملهم شريعة وآتاه أعظم المعجزات وجعل له أعظم الآثار في نهوض الحياة وأخذ الميثاق على
So if
النبي.
you're stopping on hayat, how do you pronounce it?
حياة, yeah.
Yeah, I know it sounds weird because it doesn't sound like hayat anymore, but that's how you're supposed to do it. So
حياة. وأخذ الميثاق على النبيين أن يؤمنوا به إن جاءهم وبشر به الأنبياء وموسى وعيسى وأممهم عليهم السلام فهم يجدونه مكتوبا عندهم في التوراة والإنجيل يأمرهم بالمعروف وبين وينهاهم عن المنكر ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث ويضع عنهم إصرهم والأغلال التي كانت عليهم.
So wait, so this one I was actually doubting before when you guys said, shouldn't this one also be nasab akhil muslima, right? The ma'mur is nasab, isn't it?
مأمور is the فاعل, the فاعل. So it should be مرفوع because
Oh yeah, why istahfadha? Oh yeah, this is just
فاعل الأمر. So
couldn't there be hidden ya akhi?
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would make it so that would make it mabniyun ala dam anyway, the munada. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So then but then here he didn't do it, right? But yeah, it works both ways. You're right though. You can do that way too. Jazakumullah khaira, Sayyidi Adnan. Okay.
So no, sorry, translator.
Yeah.
No, my brother, believer, the believer, that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, do I translate Tabaraka? It's like most blessed and most high.
Hard to
Or,
translate these things in a nice way, but yeah, like I guess the ta'ala you can be like free of defect type of thing. But yeah, if you do it literally like most high.
uh,
By the way,
uh,
what is the i'rab of tabaraka? Anyone in this whole sentence?
okay, no, Allah. Is it
Isn't
a
that a
sifa
verb?
Huh?
or no?
It is a verb, but that doesn't tell me the i'rab. So it's a verb, so that means there's a jumla ismiya. I mean jumla fi'liya, sorry. So this jumla fi'liya, what is it?
Is it i'tiradiyya? Is this
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's jumla i'tiradiyya. This is jumla well, we say jumla mu'tarida
okay?
because it's like a parenthetical statement, and they say la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Just like sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, same thing, jumla mu'tarida. So tabaraka is the jumla mu'tarida, and ma'tufun alayhi is wa ta'ala. It's another jumla fi'liya technically, right? If you really want to break it down.
Okay. So that Allah, the Most High, has like certainly specified our Prophet sallallahu alaihi or his prophet, sorry, Nabiyahu, his prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With that, he has made him the best of the prophets and the messengers, and he finished. And the end or the final, the seal of the prophets and the messengers, and the greatest of them in message, risalatan, and most complete from among them in like in law or sharia. Yeah.
It's also tough to translate these words in a way that encompasses everything, but yeah.
And he gave him the greatest of the miracles, and he made for him the greatest of the أعظم الآثار في نهوض الحياة. Of athar is like a effect. I don't want to say effects or
Yeah, that's one way to translate it. Yeah, so he like basically granted him the greatest I mean, I know I probably wouldn't translate it plurally just because it doesn't sound good in English. Like he granted him the greatest effect in revival or like reviving life of
bringing up
people, basically. Or bringing
rising.
life, yeah.
Would impact be a better translation?
Yeah, or impact you could say, yeah. Like if you're like, we can actually check how the translator translated it. I don't have it open right now, but he like just gave a very explanatory. He gave him the greatest of miracles and opened for him the greatest impact in advancements in societal life. So he put a lot of other stuff in there to make it make sense. But that's because he was actually sitting down and writing a professional translation. So yeah, I think just saying it how you did is fine, inshallah. Yeah, so you can continue.
And he took a covenant, or yeah, like a covenant, I guess, like a pact.
Yeah.
On on the prophets that they believe, or an yu'minu bihi inja. Or no, is this talking about an yu'minu bihi inja? It's talking about the nabiyyin, or because
No. Well, who's he talking about coming? Who's he talking about this whole paragraph?
I mean, some of the Prophet ﷺ, but
Yeah, our
Yeah.
Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So
we believe in the Prophet. Okay.
the rest of the prophets have to believe in the final prophet, right? So
Okay, I see now.
yeah.
Like, and yu'minu bihi inja, to believe in him, if he comes to them, but
Yeah, if he comes to them, like all the other prophets agreed that we're going to believe in him if he comes to us.
okay.
It's in the Bible and the Torah and the non and before they were altered, etc. Yeah.
And he gave glad tidings with him. No, sorry, the Anbiya, the prophets gave glad tidings like of
Okay,
him.
so why is this singular here and the Anbiya is plural? Why is that allowed?
Because the Jama' Taksir.
Yeah, so yeah, you could. So what are some other verbs you could put here instead?
You could put a,
بشروا.
or sorry, it's a, because it's a fa'il, so, and then when the fa'il is after the fa'il, you don't have to.
Yeah, so there's a few conditions for that, right? But one time in which you never have to make them match is if there's kalam and ajnabi, there's some other thing between them. That's one time we can do that. But you could say basharat, even though that's feminine. This is a jam' taksir, so you could say basharat. There's a reason that you can't say basharu, like Naz just said. Why can't you say basharu?
Oh, sorry, you need it before the you need it before the verb.
Yeah, because if you already have this waw here, that's the fa'al, and you can't just put an anbiya there unless you're doing ta'keed or something. So you wouldn't be able to say وَبَشَّرُوا بِهِ الْأَنْبِيَاءُ. You can't do that. So that wouldn't work here. But of course, if you said al-anbiya'u, basharu, that's fine if you do it beforehand, yeah. Okay, so go ahead, Omar.
Wait, but also basharat, wouldn't that be if it's غير عاقل and جمع تكسير, or?
No, they still do that all the time, like قالت الفقهاء, قالت المعتزلة, like they do all that, yeah.
All right.
Oh no,
بالأنبياء.
you're right, but like because it's Jama' Taksir, we treat it like the aqil in terms of the grammar wise. We don't have to. It's an option.
Okay. وبشر به الأنبياء. And Musa and Isa. Why is he like, I'm curious, why is he separating them?
Well, I was actually just gonna ask like why is he mentioning? He said the prophet, so why is he mentioning Musa and Isa alayhuma ma'anabiyina salatu wasalam? Why is he mentioning them separately?
Because they're like Mursaleen.
Because they're what?
They're like Rasuls. They're like, no, sorry. And yeah, the Rusul. Like they're messengers, no? Or
Yeah, but there's lots of other messengers, so why do only mention these two?
Oh, it's because the ayah after is talking about the Injil and the Torah.
Yeah, and whenever we talk about previous prophecies, we're pretty much always talking about them. So that's why this is called what is it? Atf al-khas ala al-am. Atf al-khas ala al-am. So mentioning something specific, I mean, like mentioning something specific, after making a conjunction upon something that's general. So prophets, al-anbiya already includes these two, but we mention them specifically because for some reason. But so it's atf al-khas ala al-am. Yeah.
All right. And Musa and Isa alayhi salam, give glad tidings of the Prophet to their nations. Fahum, and they, they found him written, like with them in the Torah and the Injil, guide or commanding them with the good, and forbidding them from evil, and permitting for them what is like the good, طيبات.
Yeah, pure, I guess.
The pure, yeah, the pure, and forbidding upon them the filthy, or khaba'ith. And placing Israhim is like Israhim.
Like yada, but the yada an means actually to remove something.
وَدَعُوا عَنْهُم.
Yeah. So he's going to remove something from them.
Okay. So removing from them. I don't know what Isra is.
So it's basically like does anyone remember, is it shackles? Or
Is like burden, like something heavy on them?
yeah, like heavy contracts and ties and burdens. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Their burden, and then what's the next one? Al-aghlal,
الأغلال.
Aghlal is chains.
chains, yeah. So he's removing from them their burdens and chains that used to be upon them. So what is that talking about?
Uh, hmm.
Is it their like made up Sharia, like the
Well, it's not the made up. It's actually their Sharia, which had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made much more harsh on them, right? Like the Jews
Oh,
had extremely harsh Sharia. So now the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to come and remove all those harsh rulings, and our Sharia is in the middle. And so even for the Christians, right? They innovated their monasticism, and being monks and stuff like that. So the Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam comes to remove all that. Anyway, that's just a general description. If you look into the tafsir, you'll of course find much more. Um, was there someone who was waiting to read and I didn't call on? If anyone else wants to read, just write it in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to Ahmed. You go ahead with the first paragraph.
Oh, sorry. ولادته عليه الصلاة والسلام.
Why ولادته?
ولادته.
Yeah. So,
مضاف إليه.
no, I'm asking. Well, first read it again.
ولادته.
No, but that's not what it says.
Oh, wait, it's like a little cut off. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, but even if there was no vowel there, I mean, like, why would you put a kasra on it for no reason?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, why didn't someone tell me the Arab of this? It's a title, right?
What's the title? It's on, wait, I guess, okay, so if it's a title, I guess it's mubtada khabar, and the rest of it is khabar.
So where's the mubtada in the word? Oh, okay. So that's one way you could say that way, but the usual way to say is that this is a khabar and there's a hidden mubtada.
Oh, okay.
So they
Is
say
it like هذا?
yeah, like هذا or
Oh.
هذا الكلام يعني ولاد في, or you can say في ولادتي, or yeah, but usually you say هذا ولادته or باب ولادته, هذا ولادته صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. So what does wilada mean? صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Oh, some birth.
Yeah, the birth. Okay, go ahead.
So, بعث الله تعالى محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم على حين فترة من الرسل.
Yeah, فترة. So there's a typo here, as you can see. It should be فترة, not فترتي.
فترة من الرسل. وقد
Sorry, yeah.
sorry. وقد انتشر الضلال وعم الجهل وتحرفت ديانات الرسل.
ديانات, right?
ديانات الرسل. Should I say like the ending harakat or like even at the pauses, or no, not really?
So a lot of times when you read, like, as a teacher, it's good to be tested. But on the other hand, it kind of ruins the rhyme that he's going for. So
Right.
make your own decision, because you can see it's all rhyming, right? Rusul, jahal, rusul. So like, I don't know, it's up to you.
الشرك وثنية وساد الظلم والقهر على الناس من كل قدرة قوة من كل قدرة قوة.
Is try that last word again.
أو قوية.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. حتى أمم.
Yeah, because we'll talk about it after. But well, actually, why is it umamu anyway?
الحضارات والفلاسفة. So it's like I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's like a nation. No, it's
No, I know that. Yeah, but I mean, like, why is it in Rafa?
what Rafa? Oh, so I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Also, anyone else, if you know, you can try.
Yeah, I don't know.
It should be nasib, no?
No.
Oh, is it because this is the hatta of like limit?
No, but it doesn't have to be. It's not hatta al-ghaya. Even if it was, that's not an Arab thing. That's like a meaning thing.
But isn't حتى حرف جر like I mean
No. What? Since when? Is it?
I heard it was حرف جر. I don't know.
I don't think so. This
It
is
can
called
be a nawasib.
huh?
It can be a nawasib, no?
Yeah, but that's not because of the hatta. That's because of a
It's
hidden
because of the
an.
an, yeah.
Yeah. So here, this is called hatta ibtidaiya,
Oh.
and it makes the thing after it basically a mubtada. But you're right that hatta can have other effects sometimes, but usually it's not because of the hatta, it's because of things we're assuming after the hatta. But yeah, Omar, if you find something, let me know. But I don't remember it being a harf jar. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But you can keep looking. Anyway, go ahead, Ahmed.
حتى أمم الحضارات والفلاسفة.
Well,
أمم الحضارات
al-hadarati, right?
What's up?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
حضارات
Oh, you keep saying hadarat. What about you sound like Desi right now.
أمم الحضارات.
No, well, hadarat, right?
حضارة. Oh, sorry. I got you. أمم حضارات
Okay.
والفلسفة غرقت في أحوال الشرك وأدناس الجاهلية.
So it didn't say ahwal.
Oh shoot! Oh حالي.
Yeah, oh hal. Yeah.
حال الشرك وأدناس الجاهلية.
Okay, first before we translate, Omar, you had something?
Yeah, it's a harf jar. Or
For
or maybe-
asma?
no, it's a harf, but actually I have to look
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember being a harf jar, and we almost never.
jar, I feel like.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just see what you find. You can post it in the group, but I don't remember that. It can make the fi'l mansub, but that's because of the un. And then we have 7 times where that happens, and the rest are exceptions, I believe. That's what's in Hidayat an-Nahw. I don't remember from other books. So go ahead, Ahmed, with the translation.
Allah has sent Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings be upon him, على حين فترة من الرسل, on a time, there, and so fatra, I know it refers to the gap. Is it like a gap?
There's a gap. So what's the gap it's talking about here?
It's talking about like the gap between Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah, between
Like,
Sayyidina Isa, alayhi salatu wasalam, and between our prophets, anyone know how long that gap was?
600 years.
600 is actually that's like the popular riwayah, yeah. Like that's supposedly the most
Isn't it 570?
well, so that's if you accept that dating, right? If you accept the dating of the death of Sayyidina Isa, well, not death, right? Of the ascension of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. And we shouldn't say ascension actually, right? That's a explicitly Christian term. I don't know what the right term to use is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, raising him up. But 570, if that's accurate, then yeah, it would be 570 years. But there are some riwayat that explicitly say 600. It's possible the 600 riwayat, they're just rounding off. It's possible. It's also possible the dating is just wrong. Also, it could be 600 years from the nubuwah of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam and not from the death. Also, yeah, there's another thing to consider is lunar versus solar years. Though I think the 600 years in the narrations were probably also saying 600 years, but so yeah, that's actually a good thing. So how many? What would the difference be in 600 years? So in 570 lunar years, 570 times 10 is 5,700 days. How many years is that? That's a good thought though.
It's like almost 20 years.
Yes, that's actually pretty close to a 30-year gap. So that's actually a good thought, mashallah.
Would it be different? Because 1 AD is in the Julian calendar, right? And then it got changed to the Gregorian, and then
You're right, it got changed. But when we say 570, as far as I know, we're back converting and we're not using the Julian date, as far as I know. Yeah. But yeah, if we didn't, then of course that would cause a big problem. Go ahead.
وقد انتشر is وقد انتشر صح? So it's
Oh,
like
sorry.
sorry. الضلال. So and surely misguidance spread وعم الجهل and وعم الجهل wait no جهل. So then
yeah.
and then ignorance became widespread.
Yeah.
وتحرفت دياناته.
Yeah, diyanat. So it's a plural of what?
That's deans and of the messenger, but
What is the singular though? Diyanat.
So isn't it deen? It's like one.
I mean, then where do all these extra alifs come from?
Oh dang.
The plural of deen is what?
Diyanatun?
Not
Sorry.
diyanatun. Yeah. Diyana. What's the plural of deen, by the way?
Duyun.
No, that's Dane.
Adyan.
Oh, Adyan. Sorry.
Adyan. That's the plural of deen. So Diana it also means like a religion, but a slightly different slightly different wording here. So what's the harrafat?
I know harf, but what is it
Well,
called?
do you know the word tahrif?
Tahrif. No, I can't remember.
Okay, anyone help me out?
It's what the Asharis are accused of doing.
The Asharis?
Huh?
I mean,
someone said they do tahrif of the Quran. So
well, I think everyone accuses every other group of that, but I mean, what does it mean here?
distorting.
Yeah, distortion of the books of previous religions here.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Distortion. Okay.
Trying to make everything sectarian, Naz.
That's the first thing I think of when I hear this word, because
that means you're reading too many sectarian debates.
No, it was because of a guy in our community. He kept saying
Okay.
that. So.
Okay. What's it called? بالشرك with idolatry وثنية. وثنية, is it like, does it have to do with like dualism or no?
No, it's actually different root. This is from the root the wow tha noon. That one you're thinking about is tha noon, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the same root as like musanna, but athanawiya is like dualists.
Okay.
Dualists like Zoroastrians and stuff. But wathaniya is from wathan. Anyone know what wathan means? Plural is wathan. Go ahead.
So,
Someone
idol like polytheism?
Well, wathan means an idol.
Oh,
So
what's
wathan means an idol. So wathaniya are idol worshippers.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is different than shirk, right? Shirk is more general. Idol
Okay.
worship is just one specific form of shirk.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so وساد الظلم والقهر على الناس من كل قدرة قوية. وساد and الظلم became, I want to say, like, I don't know how to say this. It's like, I know it's coming from like Sayyid and like
Yeah, same
Sadat.
root. Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's like the chief or something, like, or
So
became,
it's like I guess, I don't know, what's a good translation? You could say
I don't know.
the people were like overwhelmed by oppression. Maybe you could say something like that. I mean, I don't know a good way to translate it, to be honest. Someone has a suggestion. Let's see how he translates.
They were like drowning in,
Yeah, then you're changing it to like a passive voice, but that's fine. I mean, for if you're
or they were drowned
sometimes you might
in.
have to do that for translating, but yeah.
Sure.
And
Oh,
here it says, oh, this is good. Furthermore, oppression and tyranny prevailed. It says prevailed
prevailed.
the people. I don't
Okay,
think
good.
that's right. Prevailed upon the people, maybe. Anyway, here it says prevailed the people from every
Yeah,
strong power.
sure.
Okay, I actually don't like that translation that much, but anyway, it's fine.
Okay. حتى أمم الحضارات والفلسفة.
No, you're still saying it. You're adding an L after the ha for some reason. Hadarat, but that doesn't say that.
wait. أمم
Okay, first of all, what's the singular of hadarat?
الحضارة.
No.
حضار.
Yeah, hadara. What does that mean?
Well, it's definitely not حضرة. So.
What is a hadara?
It's like a civilization.
Yeah, civilization. So they were talking about like the previous civilization. But here though you translate it as like the previous nations of like culture and philosophy or learning and philosophy. That's what we're saying basically. Like even those nations were engulfed by all this oppression and jahl. That's what's being said here.
civilization. Gotcha. وغرقت في sorry في أوحال الشرك وأذى ناس جاهلية. So, and then I'm guessing it means like drown, like غرقت
But
mean,
it's not gharakat, right? I think it's ghariqat. Does anyone remember? I think it's ghariqat.
غرقت.
By the way, okay, this is actually good. What should you do when you're not sure about the depth of a verb? Where should you look? That's something like it's a really good, important skill to have, right?
And where?
So handswear, it's fine for modern Arabic, but it won't give you all the possibilities. So one good modern dictionary is Al-Mu'jam al-Wasit. It's published by the Arabic Language Academy in Egypt, Al-Mu'jam al-Wasit. That's a good modern one, and they give you dubbed. But like if you go to a sheikh and say Al-Mu'jam al-Wasit told me this, like they still won't accept that as like a real proof. But it's really good for students to use. You could also use handswear, but I wouldn't take it as like an absolute. And then of course there's the classical dictionary. So the ones that they recommend a lot for students, especially like beginners, is Mukhtar al-Sihah. Mukhtar al-Sihah. I'll write it in the chat too. So Mukhtar al-Sihah. Actually, I'll write it in the Telegram chat. That's probably more useful. Mukhtar al-Sihah and of anyone know who al-Sihah is by? It's
Is
famous.
it a Razi? One of the Razis?
أبو بكر
Actually, you're
الرازي.
right about Mukhtar al-Sihah. The original Sihah is by al-Jawhari, and Mukhtar al-Sihah is the shorter version. So it's by Hanafi actually. This one, and the other one is al-Misbah al-Munir. Al-Misbah al-Munir is by al-Fayyumi. It's actually meant for it's actually meant to explain the strange words in a Shafi fiqh text, but it's become like so widely used as like a general book. So these two works, and I'll send PDFs later. So that's when you want something quick. Otherwise, you can go to Al-Qamus al-Muhit by Al-Fayruz-Abadi, which is like the classical source and highly authoritative, but it's much more complicated. But that's what I had closest to me, so that's what I'm going to look at right now. And it's
Shaykh,
also
do you have any like online that like goes through all these dictionaries and
actually,
gives
you know that old edge tile tool?
Oh, okay,
That
okay.
one actually has Al-Misbah al-Munir and other stuff, but you know, Al-Ma'ani also it doesn't have these, I don't think. Personally, I don't. I still like. I don't know. I guess I haven't like moved on. I'm still using these dictionaries and old stuff. I don't really know good tools online. So if you guys have ones that you know, then let me know.
Our attention spans are shorter, so asking.
Okay, so Ghariqa. So I'm just looking up in the. You know this book? It actually goes with the first letter. No, it starts with the last letter. You look at the last letter first, then the first letter, then the middle letter. It's like Al-Qamus al-Muhit. That's the classical way that they used to do it. The last letter is like arranged dictionary is arranged according to the last letter, and then within one letter, it's arranged according to the first letter. Then within the first letter, it's arranged according to the middle letter. But now the modern editions, they give you a whole index and it's just in normal order, so you don't really have to worry about it too much. But it's good to know that stuff. It's good to know that it's arranged that way.
Yeah. That's so like not intuitive.
So the earliest dictionaries in Arabic were all that way. So that's why those early ones are like that. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't actually know, but you know, Kitab al-Ain, one of the earliest dictionaries, was designed that way. I don't actually know the historical reason.
That's crazy.
But if you think about it, why is using the first letter any better than using the last letter? Aren't they both kind of arbitrary choices? Like
Yeah,
why? Like you know, it doesn't really. I feel like there's no real reason why one is better than the other.
I would say, I would argue the first is, yeah, sorry, my bad. You're saying something?
No, go ahead.
I mean, I would still argue the first is better because, like, especially in Arabic, the last letter is subject to change a lot of times. So, like,
But
it changes.
is the root subject to change? Like the root you're going to look up?
Well, yeah, the root doesn't change, but I guess to make it easier for, because
Yeah, yeah.
you have a harf like عِلَّة, for example.
You're right. You're right about that part. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know if it's like which one it is, so you just search up like the first two letters and
Yeah,
then.
you're right. So look, let me read you what he said. He says, "Gharika kafariha." But you know, if you didn't know how to pronounce fariha, this wouldn't help you. It wouldn't help because you might say, "Oh, gharaka kafaraha," but he's saying "gharika kafariha." So if you know how to pronounce fariha with a kasra on the middle letter, then you automatically know how to pronounce gharika, and that's how these classical dictionaries operate. In the modern versions, they'll still put the vowel, so it'll help you out. But a lot of times they actually write with like bil kasr. So here, that's how we know the proper vowel here. So it's gharika.
Mm.
Anyway, that was
Shay,
just a. Go
quick
ahead.
question. Does the Qamus also give you like the gender of the word? Because I still don't know how to like figure out what kind of gender a word has.
The gender of nouns will often give you because it gives you example sentences, but not every, I think maybe not every time.
Mm.
I don't know if it gives you every time. Yeah. But I think if it was a difficult word to figure out the gender, it would give it to you.
Oh,
And remember,
okay.
Al-Qamus al-Muhit has a very famous commentary, which is like the main source anyone knows, like one of the main sources we use in Arabic dictionaries. You've probably heard the name before. So it's called Taj al-Arus
Oh, okay.
by Al-Murtada al-Zabidi. Anyone know Al-Murtada al-Zabidi?
The Yemeni.
Yemeni, but I think Indian originally. But yeah, like he operated in Yemen, and he also wrote the Sharh on the Ihya Ulumuddin, Al-Murtada al-Zabidi. So he wrote a Sharh on this Al-Qamus al-Muhit, and that's like a very widely used source. So wait, did you finish translating it? What's Al-Hal? Anyone? By the way, anyone can help out anyone. It's fine. Like it's not only one person.
Yeah, and they don't.
So how first of all, just by the pattern, can you figure out what the singular is? Think of other words that are on this pattern, like
وحل
ozan,
وحل.
huh? Yeah,
وحل.
wahal, good.
Mm.
So you know the patterns help you out like that because even if you don't know what the word means, you can figure out based on reverse engineering the pattern.
Morass, mud.
Oh,
So they're drowning in
on the mud of shirk.
the mud and the mud and swamps of shirk and the filth of jahiliyyah. So adnas is the plural of what? Same,
That's
yeah, Dennis. So the filth of jahiliyyah. Okay, we have about 10 minutes. Let's try to finish the wilada. I'll read the next paragraph and then I'll call on what was the order we did? Who went after Ahmed last time? Naz, right? So I'll read this paragraph and then you can read the last paragraph. Then I'll finish for today. Oh, actually, was there anything else here that we need to anyway? If there's any questions on anything, any words and stuff, like feel free to ask. So the Fatra, was 600 years, and then we have, Ahl al-Fatra, what's their fate? The big Akida question.
oh.
Let's just do a pop quiz. Omar, what is the fate from Ahl al-Fatra, the people of the 600-year gap?
They're saved, right?
So according
mean-
to Sha'ira, they're saved. Yeah.
And then
Oh.
is it that the Maturidi say that they're not?
So Maturidis have a few different. Well, let's just make it more general. Say Hanafis. The Hanafis have a few opinions here. Yeah, one of the popular ones that they're not saved. They have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that means only the Hanafa from them would be saved. The non-mushrik ones would be saved. There's another opinion that they must believe, but there's no punishment for not believing. That's another opinion we have within the Hanafi opinions, which functionally comes out to the same as the Ash'ari opinion. And then there's some with more tafsir, and there is one opinion in the madhab that's the same as the Ash'ari, basically. But then, are they originally transmitted from the Imams, or are they just later Maturidi opinions? Because the Maturidiya are into kalam. Early Hanafis were not into kalam, in that sense, in this like synthetic analytic kalam. We have like these three main groups, kind of. Anyway, Omar, sorry, you wanted to say something?
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll read this paragraph. But of course, functionally, these differences are for the mutakallimun to discuss. But this is the affair of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It has nothing to do with us, right? We don't decide this. But of course, we can't insist on things either. You can't insist either way. Someone insisting that these people are saved, when it's a dhanni matter, they're doing something wrong. And someone insisting that they're not saved is doing something wrong because it's a dhanni matter at the end of the day. Because, you have people who are like, no, this person is definitely going to be saved. And, Shaykh Samar always like, he's just like kind of saying that, are they going to come on the day of judgment and tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, no, this person's not going to hell because they are from Banu Hashim and they're the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This person's not going to hell. Like, can't be. Who's going to say that to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So, it's important not to take strong stances in these matters. It's not our business. قال رحمه الله وقد تحدث من بقي من علماء الدين الحق أنه آن الأوان. Yeah, tawaqquf, exactly. That's the safest position in all these dhanni matters. But only in dhanni matters, of course. Not qat'i matters like kuffar going to the fire. That's, of course, something qat'i and must be believed in. لظهور نبي آخر الزمان وشهد العرب عناية الله بهم وإعظامه حرمة بيته المعظم عندهم فأهلك الأحابيش الذين جاءوا لهدمه إرحاصا وتكريما لمولد نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول فصار العرب يؤرخون به وقائعهم لعظمة شأنه في قلوبهم فكان مولده صلى الله عليه وسلم في هذا العام عام الفيل فجر يوم الاثنين. We'll talk about this little hamza here. فجر يوم الاثنين التاسع من شهر ربيع الأول على تحقيق بعد الأئمة أو الثانية عشرة منه على المشهور عند الأئمة. So I'm just going to do a summarized translation here because I just want to finish this chapter before we're done for today. So he says the remaining ulama of who followed still a true religion, meaning true Christians and Jews, etc. They still they were what's the haditha, like they were telling or they were informing people that this is like al-an al-awan, the time has come for the final prophet. As we see in the story of like Salman al-Farisi radiallahu anhu and others. لظهور نبي آخر الزمان. This is a an al-awanu. This is connected to the awan, right? So the time has come for the emergence. What's a good word for the appearance of the? Sorry. Okay, so go ahead.
Manifestation.
Yeah, manifestation or appearance of the prophet of the end times. I'm just gonna say end times. Akhir zaman, of course, is the idafa, but idafa sometimes in English is better to translate as like sifa mawsuf. وَشَهِدَ الْعَرَبُ إِنَايَةَ اللَّهِ. So the Arabs witnessed the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's concern for them or care for them and his extolling or let's say venerating the sanctity of his sanctified house or venerated house. I hate using the same words again and again, but it's kind of hard not to. Like he venerated that his sanctified house that was among them, the Kaaba, of course, right? فَأَهْلَكَ الْأَحَابِيشِ. What's al-Ahabish? Anyone?
Like the Habasha.
Yeah, so it's another plural. This is Abraha and his army. These were actually like they spoke like Ethiopic or something, which is some other like Semitic language, but they were they were allied to the Byzantines. فَأَهْلَكَ الْأَحَابِيشَ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا لِهَدْمِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed these I guess Abyssinians, Ethiopians, who came to destroy the Kaaba, his house. Irhasan wa takriman limawlidi nabiyhi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is irhas? You might have seen it in Aqidah texts or Sufi texts or Sirah books for that matter.
Like for premonitions.
Yeah, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sending small signs, premonitions that, oh, the final prophet is coming now, irhas. So that's what when they say there's like a karama, but it's for somebody in a way that's like warning of the final prophet coming, they call it irhas, alayhi salatu wasalam. So like Bahira, the cloud story. Some people call it irhas, some people call it mu'jiza. The reason that some people don't call it mu'jiza is because he wasn't actually, the bi'tha didn't happen yet, the actual sending as a prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam. Takriman, so in order to honor the birth of his prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, and this is quoting from Surah Al-Fil, and he sent birds. What is it? What is it? Ababil again? I don't actually remember.
It's a type of bird, no?
Yeah, but like, what is it? I mean, no, wasn't it describing how they're coming?
Tayran, I thought Ababil was like a actual bird type.
Okay. If anyone remembers, then I can't remember that actually. Kind of sad because it's like one of the short surahs we read. Well, let's look it up. I don't want to use the time right now, but we can just look at any tafsir. So Tayran Ababil, that Tarmihim that sent stones or main sijil that were made from baked clay, or however you want to translate that. I think there's some khilaf there. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولًا, and it made these people, this army, look as if they were just like eating up straw and wheat. Like that's how they looked. فَصَارُوا الْعَرَبُ يُؤَرِّخُونَ بِهِ وَقَائِهِمْ. So the Arabs started recording their calendar by means of the events that transpired, among the Arabs. And he says here that was like a habit of the okay, الطيور التي تتابع جماعة. Okay, so that would make it vultures or crows, right? Because they follow like an army because they know there's going to be ababil flocks. Okay, that's flocks jama'at min at-tayr. But if it's the ones that follow a group, the ones that follow the armies, it's usually like vultures and stuff like that because they know there's going to be dead bodies to eat. So yeah, I guess it could be either. What's this? Where'd you get that, Naz, anyway?
Oh,
Are you embarrassed to
wouldn't ask me that. That's from Wikipedia.
Wikipedia? Okay.
How would you like for a word like ababil, or let's say like enhanced word, how would you search that?
Well, I wouldn't recommend searching it in hands where for like a Quranic term, but sometimes it depends. If it's originally Arabic, then you can search. You might have to figure out the root, but it might be a foreign word, and then in hands where they actually do it alphabetically. So you'd search alif ba lam. But I actually don't know is it a foreign word or not? Well, ababil is plural of, is it ibla? Because ibla is camel, right? It's a different root, but there could be another meaning for it. I'm looking here now. I don't find it. I don't see it either right now. Ibada, ibil. Yeah, we'd have to look it up. I don't actually know for that word. So he says, yeah, that's how like the old nations used to count their calendar. Of course, not all of them are like that, right? The Jewish calendar is like super old, and the Greeks had like an actual numbered calendar and stuff like that. So he says that sorry, what is this? Oh yeah, so they because of the greatness of the Kaaba in their hearts, that's why they use this as a way to count from. So the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born in the year of the elephant, when the Abraha used the elephant. So he says 571 in the calendar. He says from the birth of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, which I don't think I don't know, maybe that's like an oversight on the part of the author, rahimahullah, because I don't think anybody says that, right? 571 years after the birth of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. That would mean from like 30 BC. Yeah, of course, we should look into the Fasir first. But it would be good to know like to look it up and know how to look it up in the dictionaries properly as well. Like, does this have a root or not? But in order to find out whether it has a root or not, yeah, you'd have to like go look in the Tafasir first. I mean, it definitely has a root, but I meant like if it's a foreign term, sometimes they'll put it in directly under the name. Because even terms that get imported into Arabic, they usually get a root. even if they're not originally didn't originally have a root, like kirtas, right? It comes in the Quran, but it's like it's from Greek. Or muhaymin, they say it's possibly from Greek or from other Semitic languages. This is, of course, on one opinion, right? There's two major opinions in Quran. No foreign vocabulary, which is famous opinion about Shafi, rahimahullah ta'ala. Other opinion is that, yeah, it has non-Arabic terms that were imported, of course, into Arabic either before the Quran, like Qaswara, right? Qaswara, the lion. Okay, so anyway, Fajr Yawm al-Ithnain. So here he says that he was born in this year, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But I think this mode from when Mawlid is sayyid, it should be min Rafa, like when he was raised up, sallallahu alayhi salam, the Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. Does anyone have a way to make that make sense? Because I don't think that's it doesn't make sense to me. Because that would mean it's actually like 540 AD, and nobody says that. So anyway, he says it was at Fajr time, or like in the morning of Monday. So you could write al-Ithnain without the Hamza, and some of the ulama said without the Hamza is actually more correct for the name of the day, al-Ithnain, because it should be Hamzatul Wasl, not Hamzatul Qata. But there's some disagreement on that. And I think in modern times both are acceptable, in modern like Rasm. So then at-Tasi' min Shahr Rabi al-Awwal. So he says 9th of Rabi al-Awwal here. That's one opinion. And then he says, ala tahqiqi ba'd al-imam, according to the verification of some of the imams, or athani ashar, so or the 12th, according to the more famous opinion. And then there's actually other opinions out there, but it's not a qat'i thing. I know like some people are disturbed to hear like that it could possibly not be the 12th, but it's just like it's not a qat'i thing, and if we celebrate the 12th, then that's we'll be rewarded for our intentions regardless. So, who wants to read the last paragraph? And then we'll just finish for today.
I'll go.
Go ahead, Nas. No, I just thought maybe you weren't available, but if you go ahead.
Yeah, bismillah.
Oh, sorry. One correction here. In the later edition, they actually have a correction from the Shaykh himself, and it's actually Ummah. Indal Ummah is actually Indal Ummah. So it doesn't make a big difference, but it's the famous opinion in the Ummah, according to the Ummah. So I don't know. I actually don't know why they made that change. Like Ummah seems fine too, but Ummah, like the two students of the Shaykh, they edited the new edition, and the new edition explicitly says that like this is actually a correction they made. So yeah, it's actually Indal Ummah. Okay, go ahead, Naz. You can just read this and translate, and then we'll finish for today.
Okay, bismillah. وظهر عند ولادته صلى الله عليه وسلم خوارق وعجائب غيبية إرهاصا وتمهيدا لنبوته وإعلاما بأنه مختار الله ومجتباه فزيدت السماء حفظا من استراق السمع لذوي النفوس الشيطانية ورجمت الشهب كل رجيم في حال مرقاه ورأت أمه نورا أضاء قصور الشام بالأنوار البهية وكذلك أمهات النبيين يرين كما في السنة الثابتة المروية وإكرامات الله لنبيه في مولده صلى الله عليه وسلم كثيرة تزيد الإيمان في قلب من يصدق في محبة ربه ورضاه.
So you can just do a quick translation.
So basically saying when he was born there were many like miracles that basically خوارق العادة, strange and interesting miracles and premonitions showing his basically pointing to his prophethood.
So instead of strange, you could say like, well, ghaibiyya is like unseen, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Not
you could say like
strange,
unseen, amazing.
amazing, I guess.
Ajaib is like amazing things or wondrous things. Yeah.
And informing that he is the chosen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فزيدت السماء, I didn't get that one.
So the heavens were increased in protection. Zidat hifdan. Hifdan here is why is it mansub, anyone?
Oh, it's مفعول مطلق, I think.
No.
تمييز I think.
Huh?
Is it تمييز?
Yeah, tamyiz is correct because It was increased, but what was it increased in? It was increased in protection. So the heavens were increased in protection. You know, like how it's mentioned in the Quran, right? That the angel, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would cause these stars to be you know, thrown basically at these jinn who were trying to listen at the heavens. So here's saying that the heavens were increased in protection. من استراق السمع لذوي النفوس الشيطانية, from these istiraq, like, you know, spying basically, like istiraq is something like spying that these satanic souls used to do.
Yeah, and the shuhub, I think they're meteors.
Yeah, meteors are just shooting stars. Meteors is fine too, yeah. Actually, meteors is probably, yeah, shooting stars means meteors, right? Anyway, shooting stars are actually meteors. So yeah.
So meteors were shot at every rejected basically every rejected shaitan whenever it tried to ascend.
Yeah, Merqata ascend, yeah.
And then his mother saw a light that lit up the palaces of Sham with like a brilliant light. And his Ummahatun Nabiyyin, like his, I'm not sure what that means, like his mothers, but he didn't have.
Muhat al-Nabiyyin. Oh, so no, they're saying likewise, all, like, basically all the mothers of prophets.
Okay. Yeah, so all the mothers of prophets, they saw such signs as it's been narrated in the Sunnah.
Yeah, the established Sunnah or whatever.
The established Sunnah. And the gifts of Allah to his prophet in his birth, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, were many.
Gifts, like more like ikram is like, you know, like like showing his nobility, like ennobling him, all those different things he did to ennoble him.
Yeah.
So
And
those are many, yeah.
And they increase the iman in the heart of the one who basically believes in ما يصدق, he believes في محبة ربه ورضاه.
So he believes, like he is like, he's sincere, like sidq here, like sincerity. He's sincere in his love for his Lord and the pleasure of his Lord, or seeking the pleasure of his Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's what we'll do for today. Next time we'll cover this nasab. If anyone wants to memorize it beforehand, that would be good. Oh, he doesn't actually have the full one here, but it's, you know, they say that everyone should memorize this. Some of the ulama even said it's wajib to memorize the lineage of the Prophet ﷺ up to Adnan. Imam al-Bajuri says that somewhere, like in his short work. Of course, we don't apply that and say people are sinful for not doing it, but it's very good to know. Like Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Abdul Muttalib ibn Hashim ibn Naf ibn Qusay ibn Kalab ibn Murrah ibn Ka'b ibn Uay ibn Ghalib ibn Fihr ibn Malik ibn Nadr ibn Kinana ibn Mudrik ibn Ilyas ibn Mudar ibn Nizar ibn Ma'ad ibn Adnan. I might have mixed up a few, but like we should all review that and do it together. We can put it on the group, inshallah. So on the group, remind me to put those dictionaries, and we'll also put the nasab. Let's just finish for today. It's already getting kind of late. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما يقربنا إليك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم ارزقنا رزقا حلالا طيبا. اللهم ارزقنا فهما عميقا. اللهم ارزقنا محبة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.
وإياكم.
So, inshallah, we'll meet next week then.
Bye.